I am very interested in this meeting, fully willing to defend the interests of Brazil and show that there was a mistake in the taxes applied to Brazil. And I want to prove it with numbers, to show that there was an error in the levies, you know? And I also want to discuss a bit the sanction imposed on the Brazilian Supreme Court ministers, which has no explanation or justification. I am convinced that we can make great progress on this and return to having a civilized relationship with the United States. A relationship we have maintained for 201 years, there is no reason not to continue it, and you know we are eager to make sure things end in the best possible way. You know that Brazil wins, that the United States wins, but above all, the Brazilian people win. It makes no sense to take measures that could harm anyone. There is no veto, therefore it will be a free meeting in which we will be able to say whatever we want, however we want, and listen to whatever we want, and if we do not want to, as well. I am convinced it will be good for him and good for Brazil. In this meeting, we are going to return to our normality. We can discuss everything from Gaza to Ukraine, Russia, Venezuela. About critical materials, minerals, and rare earths. We can discuss any subject, any subject. We can discuss what I said, that there is no veto, and it will depend on what he proposes. There are many topics. This meeting has a main one, which is the tariff imposed on Brazil, with which we do not agree because the thesis under which Brazil was taxed is not true and has no factual basis. The United States has a surplus of $410 billion over 15 years with Brazil. Therefore, the thesis does not hold, and the claim that there are no human rights in Brazil because the former president is being persecuted is also not true. Whoever commits a crime in Brazil is judged and, if guilty, is punished. That also makes no sense. And then, the regulation of bets is something that depends on the Brazilian government and the National Congress. It is a simple matter that we can discuss with great sincerity and objectivity.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that we will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.